fire department had back in the days, and that was a big deal, and that stopped many years ago. So I'm not aware of that.
I'm glad that you chose to use River Oaks instead of, probably easier to say Fort Worth for most people.
And
so
we need to
thank
show
you.
her off at some community events
Well,
over the next year.
that's my point is that, first of all, we like parades around here. So,
yeah.
do you prefer convertibles or floats? 'Cause
Yes,
we can do either.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, thank you all so much.
Thank you so much
Thank you
for
so much.
coming in. We appreciate it. We have an appearance of Terry Charboy. Am I saying that wrong? Sorry. About the use of the Baylor property, temporary use of the city property at 5550 Baylor, located at Baylor and Harvard for the purpose of holding a yard sale. Is anybody here representing that?
Were they supposed to be here?
Supposed to be. I just table it.
We'll move on and see if they come back in later.
Yeah.
And now we are going to do the election of a mayor pro tem for the 23-24 term year.
Y'all can do this any way you want to. You can either do it by motion, or if you want to do paper ballots, or however you want to do it. Normally, I think we've been doing it by motion.
Does anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion for John Clare to be mayor pro tem.
We have a second?
Second.
Okay.
There you go.
Did we get a second?
I got a second.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's second.
I'm sorry, I wasn't sure. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Get out of here after all. Number 14 is consider approval of mutual aid agreement between Commander, Navy Region Southwest Commanding Officer, Naval Air Station, Fort Worth Joint Reserve Base, and the City of River Oaks for the provision of firefighting assistance.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is just updating an existing long-term mutual aid agreement that we've had with the Naval Air Station. They've had some changes in their command staff. We have a new mayor, so we have to update those agreements so that they are accurate and current to date.
There's nothing that's changed that
No,
would
sir.
make you want to do anything different?
Literally nothing but signature lines that changed in the document, and you can imagine the complexity of this going through the federal government, so it has been a little while getting this to this point. It had to go back and be reviewed by them, and they finally got it to us a few weeks ago, so we're glad to get that done tonight. But happy to answer any questions if I can.
I got two.
Yes, sir.
What is the deal that will call you there or them here? What would be the criteria?
So they have the same structural firefighting capabilities that any fire department does, in addition to their aircraft rescue firefighting skills that they have. So if we had a fire situation where we needed additional manpower, a situation where maybe Fort Worth had a big fire going somewhere else in their city, and there weren't as many resources available, and we had something happen here that was substantial, they have resources they would send to help us. Fort Worth also has a mutual aid agreement with them, and because we're part of that interlocal with Fort Worth and the mutual aid and everything, we're the closest company on Fort Worth's dispatch to the Naval Air Station. So if they have a working fire on the base, we're very likely to be the first company from outside to get sent. So it's no different than the long-term mutual aid agreements with Sansom Park and White Settlement and the different cities that we have them for so long.
Second,
Yes, sir.
and this is a modern thing, does Fort Worth or the base have stuff to deal with these batteries catching on fire?
I can tell you that from what I have read, watched, learned, and understand from those that are in the know, the only way to deal with these battery fires is to basically drown it in water or bury it. That's the only way to put it out.
Okay.
There are,
Phone, no nothing.
it is literally water, and in most cases, a Tesla
Well,
just as the most prominent one that's around.
Ford just had a bunch of trucks, Dan ain't here to take the views.
I can't handle that, sir, I'm a Ford driver myself, not an electric vehicle though.
Yeah.
You're talking 15, 20,000 gallons of water to put one of these fires out. There are actually companies, I'm not aware of any in the United States, but overseas in Europe, there is a company that has basically taken a modified roll-off dumpster that they will respond to the scene of a fire. They will pick the car up and drop it in the dumpster and fill it with water and smother it that way, and they'll leave it sitting there for a couple of days until it smothers out, and then they'll come back and clean it all up.
I wonder if everybody's been electrocuted when you start putting water on it. I mean, how much water does it take to short it out versus?
As long as you don't go up and touch it while you're doing it, you're probably okay, but, those fires are hot and they're very substantial. It is, it's kinda like COVID was, it's the next new thing that fire services have to
Well,
learn how to deal with.
it's like a magnesium fire.
To a degree, yes.
Have we had one in River Oaks? 'Cause I know around the corner there is a,
We have not had an
the
electric
Toyota
vehicle fire
hybrid
in the
that
city
was
to my
first
knowledge.
Prius, there's a Prius that's half
Right.
burned.
The hybrids are a little different, the fully electric vehicles are a whole nother level
A lot more
of
battery.
challenge. Yes, sir.
Can I ask a question, Mayor?
Absolutely.
Chief Shelley, what would the process be to get a line added to this mutual aid agreement? And to have that approved through the federal government?
I am happy to submit that. They probably will not be real happy to go through that
Do it all
process
again?
again.
Sure.
I have no idea how long that would take. He started this process he became the fire chief out there a little over 2 years ago, and this just made it to us a few weeks ago.
Okay, it's been in that, okay. Do you think it would hinder your operations if we were to pursue that? In any way, if this took another 18 months?
I don't think they would hesitate to call us over a signature on an interlocal agreement, but, certainly whatever you think we need to do on that.
I appreciate it. The only issue, there's one provision in the state law that allows an interlocal agreement. It says every interlocal agreement shall say that either party paying for services under this agreement shall make payment with funds from available and current revenues. And because it says in state law that the agreement shall provide this, we generally make it a rule that any interlocal has that statement in it. This doesn't currently have that statement in it. That would be my request. I will note, this agreement doesn't appear to call for the payment of funds by anyone,
Correct.
correct?
It leaves
Services
both parties responsible for their own
That's
equipment
right.
and personnel.
So, there's the level of, because there are no funds being requested, we could easily take the position that this isn't applicable here. You know,
I would suggest that.
Best
Make
legal-
a note for
sure.
next time.
I just wanted to make you aware of
Just to
that.
not put him through,
Of course, I understand. Just
It'll
wanted
be
you to
much
know about
easier
that.
on me than it will be Chief McQuaig, I can assure you. He's got a lot
It's
more.
not a money, but I appreciate you bringing it to
Of
our
course.
attention.
Yeah,
Just wanted to make you
I'm
aware.
gonna be 100% honest, I deal with interlocals all the time, it's the first time I've heard that, so I'm glad to know that for the future. Absolutely.
Well, is this new?
It's not,
I mean, it's more than 4 years old.
it is.
Really?
How many times are they just getting reprinted?
Well, I think the other level, and you're the attorney, but dealing with a contract or an interlocal agreement with the federal government versus a municipality to municipality, I don't even know what their willingness to add the line will be.
Sure.
Since they feel like they supersede the state in most
Yeah,
cases.
right.
So, I'm not sure, but, yeah.
All right, so do we need to do anything?
Then the council needs to take action to
Yeah,
approve
just
it.
approve it so that it can be signed.
And do you have an original of this?
I thought they sent it directly to you. If not, I can go back and get it out of my email.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get it for you.
Would anybody like to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve the mutual aid agreement between the commander and the city of River Oaks for, firefighting assistance.
Second.
All in favor?
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Number 15 is, consider approval of ordinance 1377-2023, amending Chapter 4 Business Relations of the Code of Ordinances, City of River Oaks, defining short-term rental and providing for the standards and review process for short-term